Yo, what up, friends? And then we'll get into the main event after that. But for the co-main event, we've got Virgil Ortiz Jr. 22-0 versus Israel Madrimov 10-1-1 draw. The betting favorite here is Ortiz at minus 125, while Madrimov is a plus 100 underdog. So, close, very close here. Madrimov is 30 years old. Ortiz is 27 years old. And then Ortiz has the height and reach advantage by 2 inches. So, Papi, Choon, Yayo, start us off on this one, my friend.
You got the right guy at the wrong time.
Hey,
man, bro, I love Virgil Ortiz style. He dig in, he switches it up when he needs to, he makes adjustments, but at the end of the day, he say he going in there to get him out, and I do believe that Virgil Ortiz is going there with every intentions of going to get him out. However, I'm sorry, young fella, you got the wrong guy this time. Madrimov is a highly, highly skilled boxer. He has power. And I believe that his hunger is going to be that of, or his determination is going to be, damn, if I only had did more in the Crawford fight, I probably could have won. If I just did a little more. And I think he's going to come in with that chip on his shoulder, and Virgil Ortiz is not coming to back down. And I do believe that around round 10, it's going to be sheepy times because Virgil's going to get caught. He going to go down. He going to get back up. He ain't going to be able to get his legs together. He going to go in there. He's not going to hold. He's going to swing back, and Madrimov is going. It's going to be like a flat line, bro, but it's going to be a great fight. Madrimov KO 10.
I love it. I love the storytelling. That was beautiful. Thank you for that.
That was awesome.
Rendition of the future fight. That was beautiful. Cover D, what do you think about this fight?
I'm with Papi Choon Yayo on that one. I'll put it like this. I feel like Virgil Ortiz is his second fight at that weight. His last fight, I thought he lost in a close decision to Borchek, but they gave it to him in a unanimous, which is wild to me when he got knocked down more than once. I think with Madrimov's, the way he can feint, get in and out, Ortiz has never fought somebody like this, okay? Especially moving up at this weight class. Madrimov had Terrence Crawford double and triple thinking things, you know what I'm saying? And Terrence Crawford had to outsmart him and outbox him to win this fight. I don't think Ortiz's IQ is at that level just yet. So I have a majority decision, Madrimov.
All right. Wow, majority decision. So Cover D doesn't think that he is at that level yet, and he is, as we mentioned earlier, 3 years younger than Madrimov. Even though Madrimov only has technically 12 pro fights, we know how that goes. Though we know people have tons of fights. Exactly. Thank you.
Stellar amateur.
So, Josh,
yeah.
So tell us about that.
So, hey, Clubber D, let me correct you. This is the 4th fight for Ortiz at 154. Now, technically speaking, those first 2 fights both ended in the first round. The second one was against Lawson. Maybe I can't.
Did he make weight? I thought he didn't make weight though for those. So those like catch weights.
No. Well, that I don't recall there. I don't recall. Maybe that's the case.
Yeah, because he had trouble making weight.
Okay. They were above 147. They were above 147 is what I'm thinking there. And one of them was a very early stoppage from Tony Weeks. That being said, I've yet to find someone who is in agreement with me that Virgil Ortiz will win this contest, and maybe even by stoppage there in the mid round. And I'm a big fan of Madrimov. I've seen him fight live. He is the real deal. Some say kind of a mini Triple G. That's what he reminded me of when I first saw him, the way he operates it. He's very skilled. He can move well, great footwork. And if he commits to it, he has some good pop to him. And I do think he's the better overall boxer than Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz, he just has that heart and tenacity to him. It's just like nothing will hold him back or down. And the thing for me that makes me lean this way is when I saw the two matched up against each other. If you didn't know any better, seeing them there face to face, you think that Madrimov was the one coming up from a lower weight class, but in actuality, it's Virgil Ortiz. And just seeing that size difference, I just feel like Virgil Ortiz is really going to he's going to probably lay into him, especially considering the fact that he's pretty good with his body work and all. And I think it's going to be a lot right there for Madrimov, who I mentioned is the better boxer and a guy who I believe in. And I thought he would not be a cakewalk when he faced Bud, who was moving up there at 154 for the first time. But it looks like Ortiz, man, he was probably meant for 154, at least from the beginning. So it was amazing he was making 147. And I think that size difference is what's pushing me towards Ortiz getting a mid to late stoppage victory. And so far, I've been in the minority, but that's my pick, and I'm sticking with it.
I can rock
So,
with
my
that.
friend, let me help you out and boost you up a little bit. You are not in the minority. I am with you. I am totally with everything you said. I think Madrimov is a facsimile of Triple G. The good, tough fighter that's going to fight well even into the later stages of his age, his career. But I do believe that Ortiz right now, with his hunger, the youth, and the size advantage, I think just in this fight, and that's not in the future. I think in the future, I think even Madrimov will even be better and win a world championship one day. But for now, I'm going to agree with you, and I think Ortiz is going to take him out as well.
Man, this is gonna be like
Majority of his fights are knockouts.
He's only had one fight, no knockout.
Yeah, majority of his wins. Yeah,
Never mind.
22 wins, 21 knockouts.
Okay, then yeah, no, I'm taking a KO then.
Yeah, this is gonna be like Canelo and Triple G won. You remember how Triple G was just drumming on the boy, boom, 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 but he was beating on him.
Triple G won that fight.
I
thought I was like, oh snap, Bud got a problem. Madrimov about to start letting his hands go because
yeah,
when
he did.
They was like, grab him and hold him. When he was hitting him, he was thumping him. You feel me? So I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. This is gonna be an exciting fight.
Madrimov is good, man. He can box.
It's gonna be an exciting fight.
That is a great point, though. His fight against Crawford, he was hitting Crawford pretty hard.
It was close.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. All right.
Crawford has some skills to go rely on. He had to get that bag.
A lot more technical.
Bag.
Of a fighter.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, y'all, again, thank y'all for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Make sure you're tapped in with all of these channels: 86 Boxing, Papi, Choon, Yayo, Skywalker Boxing Media. Clubber D is on TikTok at clubber.d. And make sure you find both Clubber D and the Sports Professor, yours truly, at Ball and Buds. Those are bars, Papi. Anyway.
Oh,
bars.
We're about to have a battle. We're about to have a rap battle on live TV. Moving on to the main event. Y'all let us know what you're thinking about these fights. Do y'all have predictions? Seems like a lot of y'all are probably thinking the same way that most of our panelists are thinking. So let's move it into the main event. Artur Beterbiev, 21-0. Dimitri Bivol, 23-1. The undisputed, and I mean undisputed. First, it was the first time ever light heavyweight was undisputed, and we are going it again. The rematch, the number 2 for every belt, including the beautiful Ring Magazine title. Clubber D, the Combat G. Start us off on this amazing main event.
Well, this fight is going to be different from the first fight because the last fight, Artur Beterbiev was coming off of 4 months of MCL surgery, and he still did what he had to do to get that fight. All right. Now he's had a longer time to heal that injury. Bivol already but he told when he was blocking towards the later rounds, he could still feel the punches. Now we're coming with 100% Artur Beterbiev in this fight. Bivol, I'm sure he dealt with his wife's situation where she was doing all that stuff, trying to say, "Hey, yo, he's not that." That distraction is probably gone. It's probably gone. His ex-wife. I'm going with this fight 110% as the fail-safe of Du Bois going against Usyk. Arthur Benavidez. Arthur Benavidez. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I kind of like that.
I like that.
One too many bourbons. That's what that is. I would say AB.
That would be
AB is going to knock out Bivol in the 6th round.
Whoa!
And then what's going to happen next will be AB against Usyk this summer. And then they'll both retire. Winner will retire.
That's round.
What happened.
Wow.
Get out of here. Look, if his knee wasn't hurt, if his knee wasn't hurt prior, he would have got him by there earlier. Okay. Bivol's not ready. He can't handle this power. He cannot handle this
power. He was coming back from a knee injury, so that's why most people are expecting this fight to be better, because he's coming back from a knee injury. But also, people are expecting this fight to be better on Bivol's behalf as well, because Bivol in interviews has came out and said that he found Beterbiev to be beatable in that fight and didn't find his punches to be very effective in actually causing pain to him.
Bivol ain't grown no power unless he got the TRT. That's all I gotta say.
I don't know who's doing what.
Beterbiev is 6 rounds knockout.
Papi Choon, what you got for?
I got it right last time, and hopefully I get it right again. But listen, you cannot have distractions outside of the ring when you get ready to go fight your equal and somebody who seemed to be like a demigod. So, if your wife is out there telling your opponent that you got doo-doo stains in your drawers when she wash them, you got problems. You need to keep that stuff out the media.
Did that really happened?
Bro, she told his everything. Business.
You were DMing.
She put all his business out. You need to take care of your
two Beterbiev?
Deadbeat daddy type. She said, I hope he win.
She was mad. She was mad.
Hey, wow. I'm surprised people ain't talking about it right now. Those are some talking points to have, mind you. But listen, man, I rewatched that fight at least twice. Bivol had some incredible combinations. He was able to, put some things together, and it looked brilliant at times. And it's just Arthur Beterbiev is different. Like when he hit Bivol felt that power.
Bivol was like, nah.
Man. Bivol was like, okay, this is for real.
Felt it all everywhere.
I'm gonna need what I got in my bag to fight this fight. And he needed it. And Arthur at the end gave him respect and said that Bivol was the better boxer that night. He still felt he won, but he said Bivol was the better boxer. Now, with Arthur probably being, let's just say 40 to 70%, because it takes a lot to get you recover from knees, right? So if Arthur Beterbiev is just 20% more than what he was before, he can back Bivol up.
Yep.
And Bivol gets backed up and he get the drumming on him like that, bro. I just don't think anybody in the world can withstand what Arthur Beterbiev got to put out. I don't believe it. So I'm taking Beterbiev by KO 11. That's based off of me giving Bivol the maximum amount of respect. I think he's going to box. I think he's going to show heart. I think he's going to exchange a little more than he did last time, just so he could prove that he wins it clearly. But I think Beterbiev is going to dog him. He going to manhandle him. He going to walk him down. He going to push him back, and he going to beat on his body. Because that's what he was missing, was the body work.
All right, well, pause on the body work. We know you're all about that body work. So, look, I completely hear what Papi is saying. He is completely right about everything he said. Beterbiev is a different monster. To be 40 years old and be able to perform like he did against Bivol last time is very impressive. But he is still 40 years old, and Father Time does eventually catch up to all of us. I'm not saying that's going to happen 4 months after a fight where he showed he was up to par and he's getting better from the knee injury, but he's still over 40 years old. Dimitri Bivol obviously had the win against Canelo. Shocked the world with that win. No one thought that Canelo at that time was going to get beat. But since then, he did have the follow-up fight. I forget against who that was against, but he did have the follow-up fight was good. But since then, obviously, he's come up against very tough competition. So, Josh, tell us what you think about this fight. Do you feel like the age of Beterbiev and that knee injury combined are going to affect him at all? Or do you feel that that he's still going to have enough youthfulness in him?
Well, I will say that I haven't seen any slippage as it comes to Beterbiev. Knee injury aside, I didn't see it making much of a difference in this previous fight. I thought he fought the way that he typically fights. The difference is he was in with the best light heavyweight in the world at that particular juncture. Leading into that contest, I said that Bivol would outbox Beterbiev, and in my opinion, that's what he did. Watching it live, I felt that Bivol won. Watching it again, so I've seen it twice on replay, I felt Bivol won, but it was a slight edge, I had him by 2 rounds. But so when some rounds are very close, it could go either way. So I do see the things that others saw and why they leaned more towards Beterbiev. That being said, I think the Bivol we're going to get this time around is going to understand that, and he's going to capitalize on any of the mistakes he made in the last contest. And he actually has power. As a matter of fact, a lot of his early fights, they were stoppages. So over the course of him competing at this elite level, he has had less stoppages. That being said, he does have the power there, and I feel like he has the power to hurt Beterbiev, and we saw him get in some good shots and in combination during the last contest, and I think we're going to see more of that. Of course, Beterbiev, he is just tough to deal with just from his pressure and then the power behind the punches that he throws, so that will be an effect for sure. I wouldn't say it's an age thing. I just think it's Bivol overall is the better boxer technically, fundamentally, and he's a more sound boxer. I think he'll make more of the adjustments needed. And I'm going with Bivol to win this via decision. And I think that it'll be clear this time by comparison to the last time. Matter of fact, last time I picked Bivol via late stoppage, and I was off. I was off for sure, but I'm still going with Bivol for the win because I think he's long been the best light heavyweight in the world. The more impressive highlight reel will be that of Beterbiev's, but I do think that Bivol is the better fighter, and that will show here this Saturday.
I would my only thing about that is
Go ahead.
One, you got the Usyk backstory with Beterbiev from the Olympics. I think if he wins this fight, I think he's gonna move up, and also where they're fighting, Ramadan's around the corner, and what Beterbiev represents. He's gonna have that home field advantage, just like the last fight. So I keep that in mind also when it comes to this fight as well.
Yeah, and I mean that's obviously something we have to take into consideration when we're looking at fighters and holidays where they may have to fast and do other things of that sorts. And as you mentioned,
Arabia,
Josh,
he's Muslim,
right? It's very, very, very strict, right? And as you mentioned, Josh, last fight was close, right? It wasn't like it wasn't. It was a butt whooping. 115, 113, 116, 112, 114, 114. So one judge even had it even. Thinking about the fact that the fight was so close last time, thinking about the fact that these two fighters now have more experience against each other, thinking about the fact that Beterbiev will be back healthier with his knee, is there, and I want to ask this as a caveat, and Clubber's caveat, obviously, like we like to do, for each of you, I want to ask this: is there a way the fighter that you have not picked to win, is there a way that fighter can win? Josh, go ahead and start us off. What do you think about the person you didn't pick to win? Do they have a chance to win?
Oh, most certainly, most certainly. And he got the edge in the last contest. I think that for Beterbiev, what he's going to have to do is ramp up the pressure a bit more. I think having gone these rounds with Bivol, he's going to be a little bit more prepared for what Bivol can do there on the outside, footwork wise. Because if you look at a lot of the earlier rounds, it was mainly Beterbiev chasing Bivol around, or at least trying to get to him. He wasn't able to get those shots in because he couldn't really pinpoint him. Then, as the rounds wore on, he started to get Bivol's back a bit more closer to the ropes, and therefore he started to find his range and land some of those shots. So I think pressure is going to be the thing that, effective pressure at least, is going to be the thing that is in Beterbiev's favor if he's going to be able to get the victory in this contest. You want to make it very uncomfortable for Bivol. Keep his back against those ropes, keep him with that guard up and tee off on him. Even if you're not landed directly on the body, head, whatever, you just want to get that work in. Just hit whatever you can hit. And I think that will be something that can benefit him.
Yeah, keep throwing, keep the fight moving. Papi, you had Beterbiev winning this fight. How can Bivol upset him?
Man, listen, this is like a Marvel. This is like a real world Marvel fight. You got Beterbiev he got a skull that's lined with adamantium, and Bivol has the skills of, I don't want to say Black Panther, but he might have went and borrowed some vibranium or something. You feel me?
Okay.
And I just don't know, man. I feel like,
you don't think there's any way Bivol can win this fight?
Well, so I understand that I do believe Bivol is the actual better boxer and maybe even possibly more athletic, right? But man, if you cut the Wolverine, he healed back up. Like,
yep.
We haven't seen anything, a real weakness that he has. You know what I'm saying? Because if he is weak in the area, he makes up for it with determination and grit and heart. Like, he doesn't believe that he can be beat. It's hard for me to say that Bivol can beat him when Beterbiev don't believe that Bivol can beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
It's hard for me. I can see it would have to be a master class on boxing. But I just think that he's going to get punched, and it's going to be like getting hit with a Louisville Slugger. And if Beterbiev go to his body early, he's going to slow him down. Okay, I say this: if Bivol can catch him in one of those combinations and a punch that Beterbiev doesn't see,
okay,
I think it would have to be off a combination, an angle, and a shot that the Beterbiev doesn't see that catches him. Because it could happen to anybody. So I'll say that. But I said KO 11. That means if I say somebody's supposed to win by KO, that means I'm not giving the other person
chance,
much of a chance.
Yeah.
But you said KO 11, and that's kind of late. So there is.
Yeah, it's late because he's gonna get beat on for a little while. Those fighters. You gotta have. This is gonna be one of those fights where Bivol's corner is going to have to watch his gait. I'm talking about his walking gait, right? Because he's one of them type of fighters that will do it to the death, and that's never going to stop. And they're going to be in there fighting off a muscle memory versus them actually being there in the fight. I think something like that could happen. Beterbiev just hits too hard. Bivol is really skilled, and he's not a quitter either. I just can't go against Arthur.
It's hard. It's hard to.
Do you think the same thing?
Pretty much. My thing is, I will say, my only difference would be it won't be a punch that Beterbiev doesn't see. It'd be more so Bivol will have to have his track shoes on this whole fight and outpoint him. He will have to get in, mix in for a little bit, back up some, bring him in, outpoint him, back up, because I don't see him standing toe to toe for him much in the rounds. So he's gonna have to outpoint him each round and then survive for 12 rounds on his back foot.
Okay, so Bivol would have to obviously survive all 12 rounds, pretty much, playing the Canelo game, as we like to call it. Papi, you had KO 11. Clubber D, what did you have? KO? Did you have a KO or did you have a decision victory?
No, I had a KO. It was gonna be it was like I'd say like 5.
Yeah,
I'd say 5. Yeah.
Josh, what did you have? Bivol decision?
I had Bivol clear decision.
Majority. Okay. So there you go for
unanimous.
Unanimous. Oh, okay.
Unanimous. Hey.
So
wow.
I'll point him. There you go.
Going in strong. Well, there you go, y'all, for fans.
Got it wrong last time too. You got to learn from your mistakes.
Subscribe on YouTube at Ball and Buds for sports and entertainment live streams and videos. Boom.